It's the greatest spectacle in racing, and we are all set and to go underway with the final 2 hours of the practice session. 30 minutes ahead of us before another 30 as well. There's all sorts of action to get going as well. Temperature 55 degrees Fahrenheit as well. Wind is currently north-northwest -5. Humidity at 80%. Track temperature 66 Fahrenheit. But it's 8:30 in the morning Eastern time. How much more can we actually go forward before we get everything sorted? Joining me this morning is Adam Lumich as well. Morning, Adam. Nice to be here. Sorry I couldn't greet you before we went on air. We've had numerous things setting up with everything. But good morning. It's qualifying day at the 500. There's nothing better than time trials. Oh, sorry, Adam. We can't hear you at the moment. That might be my problem there with the microphone issue. Ah, yes, now we can't hear Adam at the moment, so I'll get that fixed in a second, Adam, as we go down. Callum Ilot's car continuing to have work built on it as well. We'll wait and see if he gets out there onto the circuit as we just try and work out why I can't hear Adam at the moment. I think it's something to do with the sound as well coming from the computers, so just give us a second while we try and work it out. Adam, can you hear me? Okay, so Adam can hear me, but we can't hear him. Let's go over to Marty Schneider quickly.
Masato 233.4. He did a 234.7 single lap speed as well. That's the fastest practice lap we've seen since 1996.
If you'll notice, Team Penske back in the mix maybe for the pole. They're up there with Joseph Newgarden and Will Power. Scott McLaughlin was quick as well. But certainly, Kevin Lee, the story at the end of the day, Callum Ilott, and going to that other chassis. So what's the story this morning with the 77?
And when we talked to team owner Ricardo Juncos yesterday, he was really concerned that they would be ready today. He said, we're going to do this properly. We can't make mistakes. So we may not be ready until the afternoon. It's possible we're not even ready until Sunday, but looky here, we have a fully prepared race car. The Juncos Hollinger crew got the Chevrolet engine changed, everything else that was needed to be done by about 10 o'clock last night. They came in when the garages opened as early as they could this morning, 5:30. So this is team no sleep at this point. But this is a similar situation when they had to rebuild a car that was crashed with Kyle Kaiser in 2019. They came back, they bumped their way and knocked out McLaren and Fernando Alonso to make the Indianapolis 500. They are ready to go. They've been through tech. They are in the second group, and they'll be back out on track for Group 2 starting at 9 o'clock tomorrow. And this car is the one that Augustine Canapino ran here in the test, ran well. He also raced it at Texas Motor Speedway. The car that failed or was not good enough was a brand new chassis. They don't know why it wasn't prepared or why it wasn't working properly. They had tried everything else, so they gave up, and this is a different chassis, and they'll get to work coming up in a few minutes. Now to Dylan Welch.
Kevin, if you were with us yesterday, at the end of the day, you heard Scott Dixon, who's behind us, talk about problems they had on their last run of the day. What was a busy night in the garage for the Chip Ganassi Racing crew. An engine change on the 9 car, also an engine change on the 10 car, his teammate of Alex Palou. So not sure if the issues were related, but regardless, not really sure either why the problem even arose in the first place. So it's a new bullet behind Scott Dixon here in this PNC Bank car, and they just did go out and make an install lap, and then are of course going to go out here and just get a final balance check before qualifying. And we also had problems with Jack Harvey too yesterday, so 3 Hondas with issues, and again those issues unrelated from team to team, but 3 Hondas having issues yesterday. They made an engine change on Harvey's car along with Dixon and Palou as well. So interesting evening last night as everybody kind of in the final 5 minutes had a lot of issues yesterday.
Good.
Okay, let's try this one more time. Hello, Adam. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Hey, yes, I can. Brilliant. Hello, Adam. Right, greatest spectacle in racing. It's Saturday morning, final practice time, split up, of course, into group runs, and now we're all set to go. There's nothing better than time trials.
That's right, Josh. And before we talk Indy 500 time trials, I want to discuss the news that broke Thursday night about a certain driver coming over here to compete in the NASCAR race on the streets of Chicago. When I heard the news that Shane Van Gisbergen was coming over here to compete in NASCAR, I was like a kid on Christmas morning, a kid in a candy store. You know how long I've wanted this to happen, and it's finally happening. I can't wait to see how he does alongside NASCAR's best in July, and Um, it's a it's a dream come true for all of us race fans. We've talked about it. We've talked about it. We've talked about it, and now it is finally happening. And hopefully, I can join Matthew Owens on the USRN broadcast in July because you know how much I'm a fan of SVG. So, can the first weekend in July get here any quicker? Because I'm ready. You know how much I'm ready to see how SVG does against NASCAR's best.
I completely agree with you as well. When the news broke as well, we were live on the Grid Tonight show as well.
Yes, you were.
And it was absolutely brilliant as well to have that. Yeah, we got a graphic set up and everything because we had 2 minutes to get everything sorted on time as well. As we see the fields coming through, this is just looking on board with the Hy-Vee car as well on board. So taking a look, I believe we're looking at Jack Harvey's engine failed yesterday. Pit Road's got some more information, I believe.
What you heard there in turn one was the motor start to tighten up, and then the loud chunking noises.
Yeah.
Again,
Parts and pieces.
catastrophic back there.
Is it a product of the extra horsepower, Townsend, or is it a product of maybe trying to get too much out of the car? Like, do all the Honda teams back down a little bit? Like, what's a thought process now in the Honda camp, you think?
Well, if I knew, I'd be down there, sleeves rolled up, toolbox out, working on it. No,
maybe.
I'm joking. But
that's a good
listen,
sign.
you got
right there.
you got an extra 100 horsepower, so you know you're leaning on the motor. You're at peak revs. The thing's running, you know, between 10 and 12,000 RPM all the time. And from a temperature standpoint, you are walking a fine line between blanking the air inlets to keep the temperature at the right, you know, level for drag. So you're trying to eliminate drag on the blanking, but also not get the motor too hot. Now, if it was just Harvey, you might be able to pass it off as an anomaly.
Yeah, right.
But to have three go, all in the same time window, is, I think, one of the reasons that everybody is probably a little concerned at this point.
Wow, we didn't know that, did we, Adam, until just then that all three of them went, of course, on board.
And regarding the flips this weekend, I think either you're going to see Alex Palou or Powder Award sit on the pole for the Indy 500. They've been strong ever since they rolled out on the oval, so I wouldn't be surprised if one of them captures the win next Sunday. They have been strong all during practice, so you want a team to look out for, it's got to be Team McLaren.
Ray Hall and Milanigan Racing then had a difficult start to this year's 500. They've always been at the bottom. One who hasn't had a difficult start is the number 9 of Scott Dixon in the Chip Ganassi Racing. Arguably, Adam, Chip Ganassi are the favourites to win with all of their cars. Sato has been up there as well, continuously looking good. Marcus Ericsson's been up there as well, looking good as well. And Ericsson's got a real shot to do something that hasn't been done since Helio Castroneves and do a double.
Right, Josh, and I could see Marcus Ericsson go back to victory lane as well, and Scott Dixon is another candidate who could go into victory lane next Sunday and drink the milk. I mean, comes from a country that is well known for motorsports talent. We've talked about James Bergen. He's also from the country of New Zealand. So, those Swedes, are always real good at motorsports. So, Scott Dixon's another driver you want to keep your eyes down out for when it comes to qualifying and the race, next Sunday morning.
A wonderful documentary coming out as well that I implore you all to watch, made this weekend by New Zealand television, looking at New Zealand racing drivers. It's coming across all series of motorsport as well, not just IndyCar, but across Formula One, the World Endurance Supercars as well. So really great thing to watch as well. One of the a bit on the YouTube stream. I'm not sure what's going on here in terms of bike as it comes.
Ironically, Mark, we were short runs. We were running short runs, and the car just didn't feel good. I didn't have the speed, but we were one of the fastest. We ran good. We ran up third or fourth in that race, and it had a good long. In the long runs, I was really good. I didn't slow down where everybody else was really slowing down in speed. So you have that as well. You may feel like the car's not good, but if you can keep that speed throughout the entire run and other guys are falling off, it may not be as bad as you think.
I think what I remember most about that is in the pre-race. I do remember that it was hot. Of course, it was Vegas. And as I recall, you and Tony Stewart wouldn't get out of your limo you were in the pre-race. Set the limo while I did the interview through the window.
It was nice of us, wasn't it?
I think that's what I recall. Let's get an update on Jack Carver.
On the edge decision for, I'd say, the last couple of weeks, and at some point enough was enough and we had to change it, so we'll be all right.
Now moving in, you're saying that you'll be all right as you look ahead to going out 23rd in the qualifying order. What's sort of the game plan for this half-hour practice? Is it just all about a shakedown, or do you think you have a good baseline to go off of?
I think we have a good baseline, so we'll shake it down and then go straight into a run, and yeah, I reckon it should be fine. There's no lack of confidence here.
That's certainly for sure, but we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Okay, we are back once again, having technical difficulties as well, but aren't we always having these issues? Adam's still with me on the call as well, and there's some interesting runs going around, isn't there, at the moment? Looking at all these, we've got 13 minutes left of this practice. They're going to go out in stages to practice their quali runs as well, so not all out together. But it is really difficult to see who's going to be where, because the track temperature is not at the quickest it can be.
Hey Josh, you know, like I said, this is, let's go down to Dylan Ross with an interview.
Right, so how do you feel going into Go Fast Day here?
I mean, I think really this run will help us. You know, the first run yesterday, I would have said, you know, let's go qualify it immediately. But then the temperature goes up and you try to do a few things and then you make yourself upset. And so, you know, so we'll see. I mean, I think we know we have a fast car. I would say the speeds this morning have honestly been surprisingly slow, which is weird. But like I saw Colton's radio message said it was really easy. So, you know, there's a lot more downforce with these conditions than we've got this morning. But we're just basically trying to do this for our teammates and for us as well to make sure we nail the gears later, because I think gears are going to be, you know, super important.
Is there anything balance-wise that you try or can find in a session like this? I mean, with only 12 minutes left, I know you're probably only going to go out once. So, I mean, what is the biggest objective for you personally in your car?
I mean, for us, it's just reaffirming confidence, I would say, and it helps us as a team. So, you know, we know we're a fast car. We're not on an island. We're not trying to go out here and change a bunch of things. So we're just, you know, we're going to fine-tune things, get the aero where we want it, and see if we, you know, it's a little cooler today. So do we need to throw some, you know, more trims at it and see what happens when we go out for qualifying?
All right, it's always fun to watch Connor and the Ed Carpenter cars, and we'll get to do that a little bit later today. Kevin?
Andretti Steinbrenner driver Devlin DeFrancesco is also going to head out in a few minutes. So what do you want to learn, and how long will we see you on track?
Ideally, we're planning to do one run. Analyzing through things last night, obviously trying to find a little bit more speed than what we showed yesterday. A couple of changes that we made through the night I think will help, and I think we'll go out and see what we got.
You got 3 teammates. How similar do you guys like the car? For example, if Colton is good this morning, is that what you run, or do you like it a little bit different?
I think we're quite close to the 26. I think we're a little bit closer to the 27. We'll just go out and see what we got. I think each car's been optimized a little bit differently and needs something a little bit different to get the speed out of it.
So it is chilly right now. It's 55 degrees. The sun is out, but how much of a good read can you get now compared to if it's 70 degrees and sunny when you qualify?
From what I've looked at, it looks like it's only going to be 60, which is
okay.
But if it's 70, you know, I think the air will just get a bit thinner and you won't be able to run as light on downforce. It looks like the wind's going to be in the same direction as well.
Thank you, Devlin. Yeah, it is good.
Tony Kanaan goes fastest then on a single lap speed, 233.026 miles an hour to kick off the action. We've got, I believe, our graphics working again up here in the comms box, which means we can get to ComCam. Omi's unmuted his mic, which I might think that Omi's here as well. Are you here, Omi, in the background?
Yeah, I am.
Hello, how are you? Doing well?
Yes, I am doing well, and I'm excited for all of the action to go on today. Obviously, my first Indy 500 quali, so I'm going to be looking forward to this. So I don't even know really what to expect. So this is going to be really exciting.
All hell to break loose, basically, as well. They'll go out. There is a qualifying order, though, isn't there, Adam? And everyone gets to go out first to do their complete qualifying runs. And then afterwards, we get into the do you want to run again sort of situation. So it's like 2 hours of running with the schedule, and then it's like 2 hours of running with anybody want a free-for-all. So it could get very difficult now.
Oh yeah, Josh. This is, it's the last practice before qualifying, so you want to tune your car to make sure you can go as fast as possible. Yesterday we saw Takuma Sato have the fastest lap that we've seen in a long time. So, I think right now the track is really good. It's an early morning start, so you're gonna see everyone going out there giving it their all, because qualifying starts in a few hours, so you want to try to do the best job you can, and hopefully sit on the pole, or at least get into top 10 qualifying. I mean, if you can start within the first couple rows of the Indy 500, I think you have a really good shot to drink the milk next Sunday at the Brickyard.
Kanaan's average speed 232.422 miles per hour then on the exit of a few corners there. As we're coming up, it feels weird. It's Saturday, it's 2 p.m. in the afternoon here in the UK coming up as well, and we're just talking about starting the day. It's bizarre. We haven't had anything from Emilia Romagna either with the cancellation, which means I wasn't supposed to be commentating on this session as well. At this point I was supposed to be doing qualifying for Formula One. So yeah, it's all going a bit mad now as they come through. Scott Dixon across the line. He's going to go for a multiple run, but we're going to head out to the pits as well.
Everything feel okay there, all things considered? Just accomplish what you wanted to this morning?
I hope so. Yeah, I mean, the goal of that session was just make sure the engine's running well. We had a really unfortunate end yesterday. The speed that we have is the speed that we're going to have. Hopefully we make a good qualifying run and just see what the number 30 people ready car can do.
Yeah, how are you feeling about today? I know that the pace hasn't been what you guys want, so what are the expectations for today?
The only expectation is trying to put ourselves in a position to be in the race. If we have a good qualifying, then, obviously we'll take as far up as we can get, but it's really difficult on a day like today, man. Like, you really just don't know, and especially when our speed isn't awesome, seems like, makes it even more that way. So we just got to go out and just execute as good a 4 laps as we can.
Thanks, Jack.
Good perspective from Jack.
Jack Harvey there on the call, as well as we are 7 minutes away from the end of this first segment as well of practice. It's 4 segments of 30. so everybody gets in. So it's 2 hours in total. As across the line comes Dixon on his third lap average speed. It's 231.5. So no, he actually went faster, Adam, on that third lap. So he built speed, but now I think he's going to back off a bit on this last run, maybe.
Yeah, Josh. I think Scott Dixon's going to back off, and we haven't caught a surprise. And well, to me, Team Penske is another team that you need to look out for, because all those drivers are really good, especially Scott McLaughlin, Joseph Newgarden, Will Power. They're really strong here at the Brickyard. Scott McLaughlin came close of winning last year. His parents were there last year, so you know Scott McLaughlin wants to do really well. And we talk about Shane Van Gisbergen coming over to compete in the NASCAR Cup Series race on the streets of Chicago. Hopefully one day we can get SVG and Scott McLaughlin, in an IndyCar, in an IndyCar race. To see how they would do. It'd go back to the days when they competed down under together in the Repco Supercar Series on different teams. But then who knows? Maybe one day Scott McLaughlin will get in a NASCAR stock car, for Team Penske in a road course. He could do the Charlotte Roval. He could do Watkins Glen. He could do Sonoma. Who knows?
Charlotte Roval is one I really want to see on the IndyCar schedule as well, to be fair.
Actually, I believe a couple years ago, they did some demonstration laps on the Charlotte Roval. So I think it'd be kind of cool, to see the Charlotte Roval on the IndyCar schedule. I think that it would be a solid turnout, for the fans in North Carolina.
Brother JP is asking, is tomorrow pole day? Yes, tomorrow is pole day.
Yes, tomorrow is pole day. So, and then at the end of the day, you will know the pole sitter for the Indy 500, and don't forget, use hashtag pick a winner on social media. To get your pick in, for the IndyCar, who's going to win the NASCAR All-Star race, which happens tomorrow night at the historic North Brooksboro Speedway in North Carolina. And also the final two Repco Supercar races from Tasmania, to give you guys an update on how Shane Van Gisbergen did down there in Tasmania. In the first race, he finished on the podium. He finished in position number 3, and it was Will Brown for Erebus Motorsports taking the win. So, to let all you viewers know, Shane Van Gisbergen can compete. He's done Supercars, he's done World Rally. So, like you said, Josh, SVG is taking off all his bucket list items, and hopefully one day we'll see him compete at the 24 Hours of Le Mans.
I want to see him here on the
Brickyard
in an IndyCar.
Yeah,
get him here. It'd be fantastic.
Oh, that would be fun. Look what Kyle Larkin's doing next year. He's he's competing next year. It's called. We'll assume he's going to do the double. So, if Kyle Larson can do the double, why not find SVG a way to compete in the Indy 500? We've seen Fernando Alonso compete in the Indy 500. Nelson Piquet, he tried to qualify for the Indy 500, but he had a very bad crash that wasn't able to do it. So, hey, anything's possible in the world of motorsports nowadays, Josh. You know this. I know this. So,
absolutely. I'm a little bit worried, though, that I've just looked down at the USRN clock and it says 4 hours and 44 minutes remaining. I hope it's somewhere in that time they are going to have a reset of the day hours, because they've got, I think they will, because they've got North Wilkesboro to commentate on, so I'm fingers crossed it should be all right in terms of time. If not, we've got, well, I know we're on USRN 2 as well, by the way. For USRN listeners as well, and even for JB Motorsports listeners, to begin with USRN, they'll have the first few hours live, and then we take over for a few hours before we hand back over to USRN commentators later. And for those of you on JB Motorsports, the first 15 or so minutes will be taken through with commentary from USRN, and then we navigate back here to JB Motorsports as we commentate on the British Touring Car Championship. Then we return here, and then we're all together at the end, and we're all together tomorrow, I think, is the way it's going to work out. Fingers crossed as well. But we still haven't figured out how we're doing tomorrow yet as well. I think I'm wearing a tie mic or something as well with a microphone, so as to not affect the, whatchamacallit, because we have the track audio, USRN don't. So otherwise it gets too loud, as we see Dixon coming through. Just on another simulation run. It's the final 30 seconds, though, of this first part of practice 6. Basically a warm-up for qualifying, this one. No warm-up for the race, of course. You get carb day instead, the 9th and final practice session. Although technically they'll only have 7 forward as well. As Josh T's joined us in the box. He's just getting himself set up as well, ready for the next half of the session. Checker flag is out then for this first half of practice 6. 2 more halves to go with the next, 3 more halves to go, sorry, with the next fellowship of drivers. As you can see now, the clock has restarted with another 30 minutes. The green flag's gone out. Now, Dixon might get a little bit in trouble here because he should have come into the pit lane. Because if I'm right, Adam, Dixon's not allowed to be out there when the other segment of cars go out, and he's got himself in the way of it all. So Dixon should have pitted.
Yes, Josh. Yes, Scott Dixon should have pitted because, and I think now he'll come in. I believe now he'll come in.
Yes.
To the pits, and we'll see the second group go out for practice. And the driver you see on the screen, Alexander Rossi, he's a threat to win the pole.
Let's hear from him.
Easy decision for us, and hopefully it pays off later. So, I think, we're in a good place with the car, and we know now what we need to do going into qualifying.
All right, thank you. Let's go to Dylan. And we caught up with Colton Herta, who we were a little surprised to see you out here. So what were you guys trying to learn this morning by running?
Just gear stacks and whatnot. It's pretty easy when you come out here in the morning, so it's not really too stressful, especially if you have a good balance, which we did yesterday. So we weren't worried about anything. But yeah, trimmed a little bit more, felt good. A little slower than what we thought, but yeah, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see during qualifying once it heats up a little bit, and yeah, we'll see later.
Are you surprised that the speeds are slower than yesterday, just given how chilly it is this morning?
No. I mean, I don't think we're running as fast because of the cold. I think it's almost too much downforce that we're getting right now. So we needed to warm up a little bit and make it a little bit tougher because we were pretty trim there and it was pretty easy. So hopefully it gets a little tougher and warms up a little bit, and hopefully we can get a little bit more competitive with that.
All right, thanks, Colton.
There you go, driver saying what you were saying. It's almost too stuck. It is too chilly outside, Townsend.
You might ask, well, why does Colton Herta want it to get tougher? Because he believes
he can extract more speed out of the car.
The driver differentiation is going to increase, and I would say to Colton, don't worry, it will. Humidity's already dropped 9% since the start of practice in just 30 minutes. That means the air is going to get thinner. Track temp is starting to climb as the sun rises over the fence and the wall and starts to warm the surface. Right now, over in turn 2, it's almost 80 degrees. Average track temperature is at 69 right now. So I'm getting excited already because I know that even if you're Alexander Rossi or Colton Herta, you just got out and said, things pretty stuck, we're just getting a read. It will not feel that good when you get back in, and the guesswork between driver and engineer is going to be critical. This is a bit concerning. Why is Connor Daly this slow compared to yesterday?
Looking a bit close there as well as Josh has joined the... Where are we? There we are. We went off screen there for a second. Okay, Josh has joined the box as well. Well, we didn't coordinate that, but nice to see we're both wearing black as well. Adam, coming to you, question for you. Who do you think will be bumped from the field? Minty has asked.
I think it's going to be R.C. Enerson. He's going to be bumped from the field. He hasn't been that fast so far, so I think it's going to be R.C. Enerson to be bumped from the Indy 500 field.
Josh, who do you think?
Same as well. Couple of others, maybe Catherine Legg. She's been a little bit slow. She's been getting a little bit faster throughout yesterday as well. But Callum Ilott, how's he doing? Is he ready to go out? Is he out? Yes, he is
Ilott has done a lap as well at 130 miles an hour. The Juncos Honda Racing boys have done an amazing job to get that car set up and headed out. It's done a shakedown lap, but it's not done a 230 lap at all because that chassis was used by Agustin Canapino in the open test in April, and that speed only got to 222 mile an hour. One of our dear YouTube chat occupiers says it's time for chili, told us that yesterday as well. So Adam, it's a big step up, isn't it, now to get Ilott's car going. He'll certainly be a contender, I think, for last row qualifying as well.
Yeah, I think Callum Ilott is going to start toward the back of the field for Indy 500. And Catherine Legg, I think, is going to start toward the back of the field for the Indy 500. So we'll see how everything shakes down once we hit qualifying later on today.
He's going to be closing up soon. Reminder, as soon as we're finished here, literally like 5 minutes later, myself and Josh are on air for the British Touring Car qualifying. Then at 4, that's half an hour after we finish here as well, coverage begins on USRN and JB Motorsports for the time trials. Me and Josh will join the box 15 minutes later. That's the scheduled end of the British Touring Cars, but it's a normal 30-minute session, Josh. Hopefully we're not going to be waiting around for like an hour, but with red flags and things like that, you never know how long we're going to be there.
It is the British Touring Cars at the end of the day.
Yeah, anything can happen as well. And Adam, you're joining us, I think, for race 1 tomorrow, aren't you?
I am joining you guys for race 1 of the BTCC tomorrow at one of my favorite tracks, Sanderton. So looking forward, because I've always wanted to follow race from the BTCC. Now I can check that series off my bucket list that I've called a race with you, Josh. So looking forward to it.
And Nick Homewood will be joining us as well in the comms box, but don't worry, 3 is definitely not a crowd, 4 is definitely a party. Nick doesn't have his camera on either, so it's easy to get everything set up. But fingers crossed, we're going to see a lot of fun. Here's your qualifying rules for today. Saturday, positions 13 to 30 are set. The top 12 advance to Sunday. Sunday, top 12 qualifying sets positions 7 to 12. Last chance qualifying sets positions 31 to 33. One driver will be bumped. And then the final running tomorrow is the Fast 6 qualifying session to set positions 1 to 6 and who gets pole position, and some points as well on the board for pole position. Not a double points paying event though anymore, Adam. Many drivers sort of like that idea. I'm personally on the thing, this is the Indy 500, it's the biggest race on the calendar, and it's only worth the same amount of points. Maybe double was too much. Maybe they should have gone like it's a 25% hike up.
Yeah, I'll agree with Carl. I think 25% would have been nice to see. So, now actually I have a question for Josh Turner, since since he knows about the news that Shane Van Gisbergen is coming over here to compete in the NASCAR race on the streets of Chicago. So, Josh Turner, my question to you is, can SVG finish in? Will SVG finish in the top 10 in the NASCAR race on the streets of Chicago in July?
Highly likely.
Oh,
we are talking about SVG, but he's going to have to do a lot of work in the practice as well. But if
Yeah.
he gets the gist of it, no doubt he'll do a couple of test sessions somewhere else as well.
Probably.
But yeah, it's likely top 10 if he does well.
Fingers
Top
crossed.
20 definitely.
He'll be there. He'll be in the top 10 as well. We're just watching a man on screen, Adam, who says this is his last ever Indy 500, but he's been saying that for a number of years. Do you believe the liar, Tony Kanaan, that this is his last ever 500?
Yes, I think this is it for Tony Kanaan. He's been very successful here. TK is, you can never count out TK when it comes to the Indy 500. So I think it's last time we'll see him compete in IndyCar. He's had a stellar career. So it'll be sad not to see TK in the Indy 500 next year. And we also want to say our continued thoughts and prayers are with everyone in the Emilia-Romagna region of Italy. Regarding the cancellation of the Grand Prix this weekend there. I saw a lot of teams have been donating a lot of money, and I believe Formula One donated 1 million euros. So if you can give any money, please do so. The Emilia-Romagna region has been hit hard by rain. So and we all know Imola is a very special place for everyone in Formula One. That track cost the life of Ayrton Senna and Roland Ratzenberger in 1994. If you can help out, please do so. Everyone in the Emilia-Romagna region of Italy would definitely appreciate it.
There's a link for that in the AlphaTauri's Twitter bio as well, so definitely go and donate whatever you can, and I think we'll all do the same as well over the next few days, as well as everything gets finalised with exactly where we need to donate. There's a little bit of wheel spin for Carl Kirkwood coming out of the pit there on his fastest runs as well. It's difficult not to stand in the box and not think that this time we should have been qualifying as well for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. How quickly life can change as well. I continue to support everybody who is affected as well by the horrible floods. Minty just saying, just to confirm, the top 30 fastest are safe after today at Indy. Yes. The top 30 after today's session, they're all going to be partaking in the race. Positions 7 to 30 are locked in as well. So then that's all sorted. Then we go through with 6 as well. So it all gets confusing. But yes, top 30 after today's start. Tomorrow is bump day, so that is going to be where we find out who will be going home after doing the week as well in the month of May. And it's actually quite good that they call it the month of May now, because it used to be just the 2 weeks, and then it all got screwed back up together because now we've got the GMR Grand Prix in early May. So it all now makes sense that we are actually in Indianapolis for a whole month. It's a very long time, and you sort of think how with the Le Mans 24 Hours it's all done within a week. So why does Le Mans only have like 4 practice sessions that are like 2 hours each, and IndyCar have 9 practice sessions that are about 6 hours each? Well, you would argue, Adam, that it's a lot more skill to keep consistent at 230 miles an hour on an oval than it is to drive around a French town for 24 hours.
Yeah, running at speeds like they do on the oval at the Brickyard is incredible. You see 230, 234 miles an hour, and it's like it's incredible what those drivers, can do. We've seen yesterday. We saw Takuma. Yesterday, we saw, I believe it was Takuma Sato, come inches away from the wall, and it's incredible what these drivers, accomplish on the historic oval that is Indianapolis Motor Speedway. All those drivers go through a lot of testing. They are athletes, so they do a lot of preparation work, regarding lifting weights, running, walking. So yeah, they're really, really fit, to compete on the Brickyard. So for those of you who are wondering, race car drivers, athletes, absolutely they are.
Yeah, well, Callum Ilott has his previous lap was 2:17.
Yeah.
His lap is 2:29.037, so he's just under a mile per hour away from hitting that 2:30. Someone else who hasn't done 2:30 is Harvey in the number 30 with a 2:29.363. Devlin DeFrancesco out on track as well. Lap 1 mile per hour was 2:30.568. Lap 2 mile per hour was 2:30.653. Lap 2 quicker than lap 1, and it was, I believe, 2:30.613.
You never see that.
Average.
Lap 1's usually the fastest, then you lose time. And then sometimes you gain it back on lap 3, so lap 3 could be quicker than lap 2. But you never see lap 2 quicker than lap 1, or anything quicker than the opening lap as well. So this is some impressive pace of Devlin DeFrancesco to get up to speed here. What's his third lap then across the line? 15 minutes to go in this second part of practice. Number 6. And Devlin DeFrancesco, look at that, currently 228.258 mile an hour. His third lap, 230.238, so he has dropped off a bit. But he's coming round now for his final run and looks really fast as well.
Yeah, this is incredible from Devlin DeFrancesco to keep this amount of consistency through his first 3 laps. He comes around the turn 4, exits the bank in on turn 4, comes down towards the yard of bricks in the finish line. Average speed 2:30.486. Lap 4, 2:30.059, which makes his average speed 2:30.379, which I believe puts him 6th.
Yeah.
Just behind of Dixon and in front of Daly.
Nicely done as well to get up there with a good time. So Devlin DeFrancesco looks to be quite comfortable in the 27. Sorry, why did I say that as well? It's the 29 for Devlin DeFrancesco in the Andretti Autosport. Thinking of the other one, a Carl Kirkwood as well. Closing in. So coming back through, just a reminder, Indianapolis 500, 11 a.m. Eastern is when all the festivities begin as well.
It will.
Box it now this lap. Just a reminder, because of the Monaco Grand Prix, we're on air half an hour later than that, at 4:30 p.m. British Summer Time, because we've got to finish the Monaco Grand Prix. And it's scheduled rain as well, so we all know what that means, don't we? Probably another red flag and sitting around for a while, hoping that we get a race in at some point. What we need, though, is that clock to start, because it can start in about 4 hours as well. Well, it can't go longer than 3 hours, which means we've been done before the start of the 500 at 5:30.
Fresh set of Firestones. There's Ricardo. We'll talk to him in a minute, but I wanted him to get a better read and have better answers when we talk to him, because I think there's still just investigating and trying to find out what is available with this chassis and what is needed.
And it seemed like there was some confusion as well, because you heard Callum say on the radio, was that 3 or 4? We had it as 3, and the team told him no, that was 4. So I think they did. I think they need to get a clean 4-lap run in as well.
Yeah, I mean, really, it's not as important 3 or 4 laps right now as much as making tweaks, fighting speed.
Well, yeah. How's the car feel?
You gotta figure it out, get a read, and whether it's 3 or 4, frankly, in these conditions, really no difference. It's what does it feel like? What's our straight line look like? What's our downforce? Let's get another run in before it's going to count.
Well, so what's the bigger issue here, Townsend? Is it let's get the car where it needs to be, or let's get the driver where he needs to be? Because clearly he was uncomfortable in the other chassis.
I think Callum will be fine. Listen, he's a hard charger, generally considered one of the more talented guys in this field as a young driver coming up, just like Kyle Kirkwood. He's on everybody's radar screen as a top talent. What I saw from that run right there, he looked pretty confident behind the car. What they want is car speed, so they need to start tweaking, massaging, or throwing bigger changes at it to figure out how they're going to find another 2 to 3 miles an hour on the straightaway.
You know what Alex Palou wants? Clean racetrack. He hasn't had it in his last 2 runs, so he's got it now. Kirkwood on the cool down there. He's coming in to pit road here, so Alex.
I'm just waiting for the interview that keeps coming, apparently, but it's not happening just yet as well on the radio, so we'll have to wait to see as they come through. 10:20, 1 left on the clock. Alex Palou on the radio now, just saying you can now start your lap, and he'll begin to push hard. Adam, is he a contender for pole position? He seems to be quite competitive, and Palou's been sort of here, there, and everywhere in IndyCar at the moment.
Yes, Josh. I believe Alex Palou is a contender for the pole for Indy 500. He and Pat Ward have been really strong all throughout practice so far. So you want 2 people to contend for the pole. It's either going to me, it's either going to be Alex Palou, Pat Ward.
Across the line then, his first lap average speed is going to be, if we take a look, 241 mile an hour there through the turn 1 is absolutely incredible, as I think Omi's just left the box temporarily. Through a 232.823 as a lap 1. He goes straight up there as well into 3rd position on the overall fastest times. Not as quick as Kanan's though, 233.026 on the opening lap, so this won't put him fastest, I don't think, on the average, unless he can really keep it together. Down the straightaway. Second lap coming across on now on the time attack, 232.692. Puts him currently P1 with the average lap time positions as well for this practice session. Best 4-lap average speed, remember, is the talking. Has there been any, has there only been 10 on track, or is it just the top 10 this session? Top 10 this session as well. It's 2 separate practices coming through. There was 5 on track earlier, now there's been for another 5, and then we'll have the other lot going out as well in this more other sets of the practice session. That's how it goes, isn't it, Adam, on this morning? But I don't really get why we do this, because they had 6 hours yesterday to practice their quali runs. Why do they need a refresher this morning?
It's a good question, Josh. I mean, I thought every practice would have been the same, but it's called. I think everyone wants to try to get in their best 4-lap average before qualifying starts later on today. It's going to be interesting to see, talking about a top in this practice, and maybe it'll be an indication of who will be fastest going into
Palou top
tomorrow.
Ooh. And Palou jumps up there as Adam and Josh were talking as well about it. 232.713 mile per hour is the average speed. Alex Palou and Nat Andretti jumps to the top. Adam said he could be a provisional pole man. It looks like he could be. Beats Kanan's 232.440. But that is amazing stuff then on the best 4-lap average speed. Palou goes top.
Lap 4 was faster than his lap 2 and 3.
Oh. Just imagine what he could do later as well in the qualifying when we get up to like 235, 236s as well. They're still not pushing that hard. They're still sandbagging.
Person to keep an eye on is Joseph Newgarden. He's going out last.
He is in the qualifying runs later. That's going to be scary to think the least of it. I can't wait for that. Who's out on track now? Ilott. Go on, Adam.
Yeah, I think as the sun gets, as more cars get on track, I think the track's going to get more grippier, and I think you're going to see speeds increasing once we hit toward the end of this practice session. You could see cars going up, maybe having 4-lap average of 235 miles an hour. I mean, wouldn't surprise me.
Wouldn't surprise me either. They come through as well. So Ilott circulating on the circuit now. First lap time should be coming up shortly as well, as he continues to push. Fingers crossed it's been a quick session. Dirty Dog has said, hey there, buddy. Hello, everybody. Hopefully everyone's okay. Ilott then. Completely new chassis. Was run with Agustin Canapino in the open test at the end of April a month ago. Only did 222 miles an hour in that. So far today, his fastest lap time is a 2:30.126, which he's just done across the control line. So Callum Ilott finally breaks the 2:30 barrier this week and gets himself on the board, but there's a lot of work to do, Adam, before that car is ready for qualifying later.
Yeah, I think Callum Ilott's going to have to change a few things on his car in order to at least get up to to move on, from today going into tomorrow's pole day.
Vince Kremer watching on there, the chief strategist for Callum Ilott, who has backed off his opening lap run.
What did he say?
Copy that, cool it down.
Overheating, maybe?
I couldn't understand.
He said it feels fine, it feels good. Maybe Kevin heard more of what he said there. Kevin,
okay, Kevin.
I'm like you guys. I was hoping, but I took that too. I think what he said was positive. I thought I heard feels good.
And then he said, I just something.
Yeah. Didn't look good in one.
No, it looked like that was close to being real ugly real fast is what that looked like.
They're doing one more cool down lap, so they're doing a couple here.
Yeah. Hopefully we'll get a word with either Callum or Ricardo here on what the situation is. 4 minutes left here in this practice session, this hour-long session before qualifying this afternoon for the 107th running of the Indianapolis 500.
So we've got Callum Ilott doing another slowdown lap. How long until they just say that's enough, come back later, try again? Because this is getting ugly fast, as they said, and that car's not looking too great either on the back straightaways. So just holding it together at the moment then, with 3 minutes left of this session before we go into phase 3 of the qualifying hour. And this is through one again, Adam. Just twitched mid-corner at the exit, just a little bit. And it's those small movements that can cause the car to just fly off into the wall as well, isn't it?
Yeah, one very small move and you're in the wall. So Callum Ilott, I think, was smart, to back down and get some cool down laps as he comes back into pit road.
Let's hear from his race engineer and team manager.
How it looks so far. So what do you think about where you're at and what the challenge ahead will be?
I don't know really. I think the first outing was to check everything. He feels okay, and now we put another run, another set of tires. But I think approach corner one really fast for the first time, and I think he ran a little wide. I'm not sure exactly what the feedback is from him, but clearly it was not good because he pulled it away. So he aborted the quali run. So I'm not sure exactly. This is basically what Agustin has yesterday, exactly the same, with a little bit more COP to the other way around, a little bit more downforce to be safe, but looks the same. So we'll see what he thinks. I don't know at this point.
First job done, though. You had some concerns yesterday about being out here this morning, and your guys were ready to go by the time you left last night.
Yes, I gotta thank the guys. They did excellent job. Everybody helping each other, and they are super professional. I'm really happy with the group of people that I have. And 10 o'clock last night, the car was ready. So today morning, we went to the tech, make sure everything is fine as well, and fine-tuning the bodywork details and stuff like that. So they're very pleased for the guys, you know.
Thank you, Ricardo. Good luck. Dylan.
So Alex Palou go to the top of the board late there on his run. So I know the conditions will be different for you later, given when you go in the qualifying order. But what did you learn there from lap 1 to lap 4?
A lot. I mean, it was a good run. The guys did an overnight engine change from yesterday, so we just wanted to check that everything was right. And the car is fast again, so yeah, really pleased with that. Obviously, the conditions are really different from yesterday and are going to be different from when we go out on 28th. But yeah, I feel it could be a good day for us.
Yeah, like Ganassi cars have been so strong, just I mean, from the start of this week. The conditions will be different, but you still feel like you guys have the speed and you know, no concerns as far as going out and laying down a good lap here.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty close. I don't think it's going to be easy to get into the fast 12. I think it's going to be really tight. It will be dependent on the third and the fourth lap. Try and be as consistent as possible. But yeah, it's the same for everybody. So yeah, hopefully you can get all 4 Ganassi cars in the fast 12.
All right, good start to the Saturday for Alex Palou. But Marty, as you said, biggest thing there on that run, his lap 4 time was better than his lap 3 time. So good things for sure to see from the 10 car.
Yeah. That's what Josh picked up on as well, wasn't it? So you're on the ball as well this morning. Carl Kirkwood on his last run before the checker flag comes out, Josh. And I think a real shot for a pole position marker going into tomorrow.
Yeah, it really is. Something that is on ball is how many screens I've got displaying different stuff.
Touring cars ready?
Maybe, but I've got it on I've put it on the comms chat, but it's Superbikes,
yeah,
IndyCar, Croft, SpaceX, Pembrey.
All ready to go then, yeah. Checker flags out then to bring out the conclusion of this second phase of practice. And now Callum Ilot's car gets pulled in as well. There'll be a small break before the next lot of cars get set and bring back in. But Ilot's car done then, the top 10 done. Now we've got everybody else going straight out there as well. On to lap times as well. Let's hand over to NBC quickly as well. Adam, from those top 10 as well, who do you think is going to be a big star going into the next session?
Yeah, I've got to say Alex. I've got to say Alex Palou. He's been, I mean, you take a look where he is, 232.714, Chip Ganassi. Like I said on the broadcast, Chip Ganassi's been strong. I've got to go with Alex Palou.
It's going to be a lot of fun then when we get back going. Let's hand over to NBC before the changeover for the next session. There's a lot more to come.
Got a lot of work to do in the ECR camp. Here's our schedule for the day. Qualifying coming up for the 107th running of the Indianapolis 500. We'll start it on Peacock at 11 a.m. Eastern. Then 2:30 we will go to NBC. We will finish things up at 4:30 back on Peacock. Tomorrow, Fast 12 qualifying starts on Peacock. And then last chance in the Fast 6 qualifiers to decide the pole for the Indianapolis 500.
Are we done? So okay, well, we got told this was going on for 2 hours, not 1. So I now understand that maybe we are done. So it's only those who want to go
We are, believe, done.
Oh, well, that caught everyone by surprise.
It was only scheduled on the Indy 500 website. I believe 8:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. For that, and then full fleet qualifying starts at 11 a.m. Eastern.
Okay, that's caught everybody by surprise because we were told we had to be here for 2 hours. Oh, okay. That is a big surprise then. So we'll wrap up then on both shows. Okay. I was told the Sky F1 built it for 2 hours, you see, and I got told as well by the Sky F1 producer that we'd be standing here for 2 hours. So obviously only 10 of them wanted to go out there and do some running. Everybody else thought, no, I won't do this practice session. Okay. Bonus hour for all of us. It means that the qualifying for British Touring Cars can go on 5 minutes earlier, so I'll get that sorted. Okay, right then, let's go through the order and the results from this session. It is Tony Kanaan fastest, from Alexander Rossi second, Alex Plough third, Kyle Kirkwood fourth, Scott Dixon fifth, Colton Herter sixth, Connor Daly seventh, Devlin DeFrancesco eighth, Callum Moore ninth, and Jack Harvey is in 10th position. An unusual session then as well. It's one that got added in before as well. And usually we don't have these little runs as well. But Adam, coming to you, your pick for the 4 cars having to go through bump.
Oh, that's a good one. I'm gonna go say R.C. Enerson, Catherine Legg, Colin Eilot, and I'm gonna say Augustin Campino.
Oh, brave. Argentina might be after you. Go on, Josh.
The exact same 3 except Augustin Canapino.
I am going to... Go on.
Just because I want to befriend the Argentines.
Okay, you ready for mine?
Yeah.
Helio Castroneves will be one of them. I then think Callum Eilot. I then think as well we're going to see Catherine Legg. And a surprise one I'm into the list as well. I think we'll see Ryan Hunter-Reay having to go through it as well because he's been off the pace. So they're my 4. Okay, Adam, thanks for joining us as well. We'll see you for Touring Cars tomorrow. At least it's only an hour. Thought it might be 2. And alongside me as well, Josh and Omi said hello earlier on as well. So thank you, Josh. We'll be back then in less than an hour for British Touring Car Championship qualifying. And at 4 p.m. British Summer Time, you can join us for all the action as well for qualifying. And also that's 11 a.m. Eastern on USON. Thanks for your company. Bye for now.